our lights fall down in the background.
Just ignore it. The sticky stuff isn't
The sticky
sticky
stuff
enough.
isn't sticking.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about board games and...
For gamey things.
Exactly. My name is Jamie.
I'm Jeff.
And we're here today to do another overview and review video for you. And today's overview and review is on...
Faction Fighters.
Faction Fighters.
Thunder Finch.
Faction Fighters from Thunder Finch Games.
See, I know, I don't even need to...
Sometimes I second guess
I just know.
Well, it's written on the box. What's this on the box?
I knew you were going to say that.
This game was sent to us for review from the publisher, so thank you so much to Thunder Finch Games for sending this along.
Indubitably.
Indubitably. So, as per usual, we're going to start off with an overview, and then we're going to jump into our review of this game.
Where's the notes?
Aw, dang.
I can't do this without notes.
I have them remembered.
No, I can't. I need to see it. I need to know what's coming up.
Hi.
Welcome.
Oh my god. As per usual, we are going to do an overview, start off with an overview of the game, and then we will go into our review. Let's start off with the overview.
Let's do it.
Faction Fighters. Compete for the highest strength to claim valuable treasures and powerful orbs. Plan your moves wisely. Only one color faction can join the fight each round. Swarm the field with a squad of snakes and control the future with mind-reading koalas. Activate abilities with perfect timing to crush the competition and become the area champion. Draft a custom team to fit your style. Explore 4 areas, each with unique rules and themes. Discover the secrets of the Power Orbs to master all 15 factions. And dive into the world with fully illustrated scenario comic book. So that is a little bit about Faction Fighters. Faction Fighters is a game for 2 players only. So this is a strictly 2-player game for ages 10 and up and takes approximately. How do you say that?
Approximately
25 minutes to play.
I would say that's accurate.
Yeah, I think depending on which scenario you do, it's probably a little bit quicker. This is strictly a card game, and I wouldn't necessarily call it a deck builder because you're not really adding much to your deck with the exception of Power Orb. There is also a drafting element. Each player starts out with a deck of cards that's built around a specific creature faction type. The 2 starting factions, you have Team Hiss, which is like this snake-like creature, and Team Galazar, which is a bit of like a lizardy monster. You start off with your own decks. There's a few different factions in each, and then you just play 1v1 through a scenario where you're trying to take cards from the middle that give you victory points. Whoever gets the most victory points at the end wins the game.
Very simple. Very
simple. I believe it comes with 5 different scenarios, and each scenario's winning condition can be slightly different.
Yeah, so we've played 2 so far. One was straight victory points.
Yep.
Another was also victory points, but had a little bit of manipulation on how many victory points were scored.
Exactly. So the 4 different scenarios you can play are Starfall Fields, Gem Hollow, which are the 2 that we played, Doomsday Bay, and Shard Peak. So that is basically what this game is in a nutshell. A very simple card game, 1v1, and it's very Pokemon-esque.
Yes, very like, influenced by Pokemon and Pokemon art, I would say. I mean, you look at the characters and it screams Pokemon.
Pokemon! Let's jump into our review, and we're going to start with the theme. So like we've already mentioned, the theme is you are different factions, different characters fighting 1v1 against each other, which is almost, once again, why it reminds me of Pokemon. Because like you're sending out your character, and then somebody else is sending out their character, and then whoever has the most hit points or strength with a few extra cards that could be played, that person will win, and then they get the treasure or whatever the victory point card is in the middle. Yeah, I think the theme is pretty fun. It's pretty cute. I like Pokemon, and I know I keep referring to Pokemon, and it's obviously not Pokemon, but I think this is a game...
They're cute little monsters.
Yeah, they're cute little monsters that you're fighting with.
Yeah, to not use the Pokemon reference, even like, because it's not Pokemon. It's just cute little monsters, and the more powerful monsters are a little bit less cute.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true. Yeah, they evolve.
Yeah.
So like you can see the weaker monster is like this cute little baby version, and then there's like a teenage version, and then there's like the old version, just like you would see in Pokemon. So overall with the theme, I think it's good. It's cute. Kids would love this theme.
The art was really cool.
The art's really cool.
I do think,
sure.
yeah, it would, I think 8 to 12.
I definitely think
8 to 12.
Yeah.
This game would be perfect for.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So moving into the components, as I said before, the components are literally just cards.
Mm-hmm.
It does come with a rule book. It's good quality.
Good quality
I
paper.
love to see it. I love to see it.
Yep.
Rule book, great quality. It also comes with a scenario book.
Yeah, this was really cool.
This is very, very cool. So the scenario book goes through each of the scenarios, but what's really neat about it is there is a comic for each of the scenarios that kind of goes through with the characters. It explains the story, and then after the comic has finished, it tells you how to set up that scenario, what the objective of the scenario is, all that good stuff. It comes with 5 cardboard boxes. There's 4 for the scenarios, and then you get 1 box with the player decks in it, which comes with your starting decks for the 2 starter teams. And then in each box is cards.
Yep.
You get your cards. And then in each of the scenario boxes, it comes with the event deck, and they each also have new characters that you can unlock.
They'll get added to your decks as you play through them.
So that's where the drafting comes in. So every scenario, like I said, comes with maybe 1 or 2 new factions. Then when you kind of get used to the game, there is a drafting component where you and your opponent can actually draft which factions you want in your deck. So it's pretty cool. We just finished playing the Gem Hollow one, and we got this very adorable little bird faction that came out of it, and a new legendary creature.
Yeah, so there are legendary creatures which are like faction irrelevant but team relevant.
Yep.
Each team will have a legendary creature, but it's kind of a loner, but super powerful.
The cards are just like your standard card size. They're card quality. I don't know what else.
They are card
They're definitely
quality.
Card quality for sure. Art on them is adorable.
Yeah, really, really great art.
So cute. Like, you guys know how much I love cute. And there's like little flavor text on the bottom of some of the cards as well.
I think the wild cards, which don't have a ability listed on the bottom, have flavor text.
Like this one is called Seedity. The class is up at the top. He's a tiny bird. It's a wild card. And at the bottom it says, Seedities fall from trees on accident. Enraged, they attack the closest target. That's everything that comes in the box for components. I think overall I like how each deck is separated by its own box, so you don't get everything mixed up. So you can just literally be like, oh yeah, Shard Peak is my favorite scenario, let's play that, you grab it. And each of these scenario boxes also have a little reference card in them about what should be in the box, so you can't really mess it up when you're setting things up.
You basically only need this. Like if you were to be like, I'm going to travel somewhere, you could throw these in like a deck box and just have dividers so that they're separated. And I think it's really cool that they gave you little deck boxes.
Moving into the rules, this is a very, very easy game to learn. I think I taught it to you in probably 5 minutes. The rule book is very clear. It goes through everything step by step. And then even on the very back of the rule book, there's a quick reference guide. So you can literally just sit that out if you're like, okay, what are the steps? So there's 4 steps as you play this game. The first step, which you skip on the first round, is you draw 2 cards. So every round you're going to draw 2 cards. Then there's the scout phase. And with the scout phase, you're each choosing a card from your hand secretly, one card that you're going to put face down in front of you. And that is your initial starting character. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to build up enough points, like I said, to get the card from the middle.
Attack power.
Enough attack power to get the points in the middle. Sometimes the cards you're going after are like 3 victory points. Sometimes it's 1.
Sometimes it's
Power Orbs, which give you like
triggered abilities.
So the scout phase, you each lay 1 card face down, and then when you both have it down, you just kind of like
simultaneously
nod your head
reveal
and reveal your card. And then you can see what the other person's starting with. So the second phase is the bolster phase. In the bolster phase, you once again secretly choose cards from your hand, as many as you want, so long as they meet the rules. And the rules are, if you play a card from a certain faction, you can only play other cards from that faction.
Or wild cards.
Wild cards and Power Orbs, which are the triggering abilities.
Yeah, so Power Orbs basically allow you to use the triggered abilities on the bottom of the cards.
During the bolster phase, you secretly choose however many cards you want to play, and you put them into a little pile and secretly lay them down. The other player should not be able to see how many cards you have.
Yeah, it can be a bit difficult.
It's a little bit difficult.
But there's also a bluff card in your hand.
And the bluff card is the only card that you're technically allowed to play when you do that, so the other cards you lay down don't mean anything. So the bolster phase, you lay them down in a pile. When you're both ready, once again, nod your head, you flip simultaneously and lay all your cards out, and then you can do your triggered abilities through the orbs, and then whoever has the most points is going to win that battle. Whoever loses the battle has to destroy their weakest character. So you win the treasure or the victory points, whatever's in the middle, and then you move into the next round. That's it. So that's how you play the game. So it's super easy to understand. Why I think kids would really enjoy this game. It's not complicated, I guess.
Draw, scout, bolster, resolve.
And of course, like I mentioned, each scenario might have slightly different rules depending on what cards you're fighting for, but it explains all of that in the rule book. So moving into gameplay and replayability, the gameplay is pretty quick.
Gameplay is very snappy, very quick, especially once you know what you're doing. It's very fast.
Yeah.
You're playing cards, bolstering, resolving. It all happens within like a minute or two. Very fun.
Yeah, it is
for a two-player
super fun.
game, yeah.
It's a great two-player game, and I think that it would be even more fun once we actually start getting into the drafting aspect of it.
I do think the drafting element would add more to the game, definitely.
For sure. So I think the more experience you have with the game, the better that you will be, which is generally how it works.
You definitely would develop certain strategies.
And in terms of replayability, I think that there's some good replayability here, only if you incorporate the drafting aspect of it. I think that this is a game that kids would love to replay over and over and over again.
Again, I think this game is perfect in that age range.
But yeah, I think it does have some replay value if you use the drafting.
I would be concerned after you get through all of the scenarios, which are only 4. I would then want to know how much replayability would it have.
Yeah.
I think you're right with the drafting element. It increases the replayability of the game. And I'm not sure if they're looking at adding additional expansions and stuff.
I think it would be great if they added new expansions.
So if they did that, that also enhances the replayability of the game.
Yeah. So moving into critiques of the game, I think my main ones would probably be specifically about replayability. I do think that, like Jeff just said, having more character factions to draft from and having more scenarios, because really you only have 4 scenarios to go through, and then it's kind of like, oh well, what else is there in this world? Or like, I think there's endless possibilities with the fact that they can add new characters and new factions and all of that stuff. So I think my biggest critique is definitely replayability.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it comes down to how you are going to interpret this game. If you are going to view this game as one of those games you always have around, this is the type of game that I feel like sits on a shelf, and you want to play a quick card game, you pull this out, just like you would anything else, just like you would Exploding Kittens, just like you would any of those quick deck-based games. My only critique is exactly the same. The replayability of the game, I'm unsure of. I don't think this game is catered to people like us.
No.
Like, I think it'd be great for kids. I think it'd be great for parents that want to play a game with their kids. This is perfect. It's perfect for that.
Yeah.
We don't have kids.
No.
I don't really have that kind of association with how that all works, but I'm basing it off of how quick the game is, how cute the animals are.
Yep.
And it does introduce card drafting and stuff to a younger audience. I think it would be perfect for that.
Yeah, a great gateway game for sure. And like, this is a game that I think like my nieces would love.
Yeah, I think again, I keep saying it, I think it'd be great for kids. I think it's a perfect kid game.
So moving into final thoughts, and part of final thoughts is that like, who do we think this game is for? Just to kind of reiterate what Jeff has already said, this game is definitely for families, it's for kids, and it's for people who are new to gaming, who want to learn more about drafting, and it's really good to teach you about card triggers as well. I think that's really the most in-depth piece of this game that isn't so like, oh, you could just step in and start playing this game.
Yeah, like understanding how to play the Power Orbs.
Yeah, like
and
this is a
trigger your
game
abilities.
that you want to get to be like, okay, my friends, I really want to get them into gaming.
Yep.
I really want them to play like Clank or whatever.
Any game, really.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to introduce people to board games, card games.
Yeah, this would be a great one to do that.
Yep.
This is one of those games, and I mentioned this to Jeff when we were playing it earlier. Like, this is a game that I would love to keep at a cottage.
Mm-hmm.
And just like every time we go, it's like, hey, let's play Faction Fighters.
Honestly, I keep harping on this, but this is the type of game that I would go and buy for someone in my life that is in that age range. Yep. Like as a Christmas gift, and be like, okay, so Jamie's niece River is younger. Hi River.
Hi River.
I think this would be a perfect buy for someone like her. She's young enough to know how board games and card games work. She's played a little bit of Dungeon Mayhem with us.
I was just gonna say Dungeon Mayhem. This is like a step.
This is like
above
a little
that.
Yeah, this is like a step above Dungeon Mayhem. It might be a little bit around the same, but it's cuter. I think it's a perfect stepping stone. Yeah. I had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. We had a lot of fun with it.
I love the art. I love the little creatures. I think they're so
It's going to stay on our shelf. It's not going anywhere. It's definitely something that, to Jamie's point, to travel with it. The other thing I should mention too, like why I think it's so catered to that age group is like it comes with a comic book. Like how perfect is that if you're trying to get a kid into a game? Yeah. Like here's a game. There's a comic book in this game. There's
cute creatures.
Read it.
Yeah.
And then we'll go play the first scenario. And then reread the comic book and play the next scenario. Yeah. Like, that's perfect. And kudos to them for developing that kind of system.
Faction Fighters is coming to Kickstarter in October. What we're going to do is we're going to link below their pre-launch page so that you can actually click on that, go to it. And if this sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure that you click on that little save button on Kickstarter, because then you'll get an email to notify you when it has launched.
Yeah, you'll get updates on it and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, if you've got kids, if you know people who are new to the hobby, definitely this will be one to keep your eye on for sure. But that is Faction Fighters from Thunder Finch Games. Once again, we thank the publisher for sending this along for us to review.
We had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun with it. Obviously, Faction Fighters isn't out yet, but there's a lot of board games that are out.
That's true.
And a great place to find board games that are currently out.
Where's that at?
It's at the Boardroom Game Cafe, or just in general at your friendly local gaming store.
Where's ours?
Ours is downtown on Barrington Street.
On Barrington.
It's the Boardroom Game Cafe.
The Boardroom Game Cafe.
It's the Boardroom Game Cafe.
Right.
We're going to put all the information right
right here.
If you like what you see, please subscribe to us here at Foster the Meeple, right?
Indeed.
Make sure that you give this video...
You caught me off guard there. I was not expecting you to go to me there.
Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, especially if you think that they will enjoy Faction Fighters. Make sure that you share. And don't forget to follow us on social media. On Instagram and Twitter, we are...
Foster the Meeple.
At Foster the Meeple.
Oh, right. At Foster the Meeple. You can't put just Foster the Meeple in Twitter, apparently. It's not going to work.
It doesn't?
I don't know.
Oh. And let us know down below if you're interested in Faction Fighters and what you think. That is all that we have for you guys today, so thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye.
Later days. Can you stop copying me?
Stop copying me.
I don't like it. Ugh.
Ugh.
Why don't you have your own bits? Oh, my hair's a mess, Jamie. Your head's smaller than mine. That's impressive. I have a tiny head.
Later days.
You're such a dingus.
Help, get it up. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Foster the Meeple. I just drooled.
See, I didn't even do it that time.
Yeah. There's like poo on your hat.
What do you mean?
Something brown.
It's literally a piece of leaf from when I was outside mowing the lawn.
Looks like poo to me. Old poo hat, we call him.
If you don't want to sit here and edit all the ums and thoughts.
Well, this is editing right now.
Listen, you are responsible for bringing the notebook down. Yeah, I'm the talent. I just show up. Well, hey, Toby. Hey, honey. You want to come say hi to the peeps? Toby's here. Jump up. Are you staying? You're purring. You sound loud. I can't with this cat, man. He was in a cuddly hair all over me. I need new jokes.
Yeah. And now I said that backwards?
You're what's with you right now?
I don't know.
You're not on your game.
It's all the lights. It's very bright in here.
I'm so hot.
I'm so hot. Milk was a bad choice.